Hello everyone, Mono here, welcome to my latest theory video about Dr Franxx. And I want to talk about what is the Papacy, the Evil Papacy, clearly the antagonist of the anime, right? And I feel confident now saying that they are machines. They have no emotions, they are lifeless machinery controlling the humans with their lives, right? I think that is very, very clear to me. And they still might be alien machines. I've been saying this possibly could be aliens in other videos, and I think they could be alien machinery coming from outer space, right? Possibility, but they are probably more likely created by humans. And that doesn't really matter. I'm talking about why they are machines. I'm going to samples here, going through a lot of the episodes. But first of all, though, I will say that there's definitely a lot of comparison, I feel at least, to a very famous movie, which is called The Matrix. You compare the architect to the leader of the Papa. I mean, they're very, very similar. And, you know, there's gonna be a lot of Matrix reference in the video, definitely. How they're using humans as biofuel, pretty much. They're using humans as some kind of, like, machinery, pretty much. They have no free choice, right? They're kind of working for them, taking the children away, using them as slaves and so on. So anyway, let's do the samples then, why they're machines. So the first sample is that no one of the children is allowed to enter the city. Why is that? Well, it will not trigger the motherly feelings, or the emotion of the parents. As we see with Suroma's mother, we see him there, she goes emotional, she is getting in danger, right? The Papacy wants to refuse anyone to ever meet the children. But when we finally see them entering, right, they are pushed down to the basement, no one can see down there and so on, right? And in the same episode, for that matter, we do see this huge city where everyone is basically a bio-machine slave. They are working here. They're basically fueling the Earth, which is very, very similar to how the battery works in the Matrix. They're fueling humans as a life source, right? Furthermore, we see Zero 2 talking about how everyone here is super boring. They have no self-thought, they have no self-insight, right? They're just doing exactly they're basically living machinery for the evil Papacy, which is of course a machine again. Furthermore, again, the city is very similar to Zion, in my opinion. You know, the big city in the Matrix people live, right? When we finally see them go down to the city looks, the plantation, very similar again to the machine city of the Matrix. Yeah, it's very, very Matrix. Now let's talk about Suroma's mother. It's very important here, first of all, that no one want to touch Suroma's hand, right? It's the same in the end of the episode. That's because he's a parasite. Obviously, the Papa has created them so he can control the Franxx, right? So they have to be some kind of parasite, anything. See it later when his mother is in New York, kind of exhausted, being with him, is ready his energy of her, right? And here then, when he meets his mother, it's very, very important to notice how, you know, all the scenes here are about her, like, oh, I have no taste anymore. I don't taste. This is good, you say, son. Oh, but I don't taste that. You know, I was like, whatever, if you want to eat it, that's fine by me, but I don't feel anything. It's all about having no emotions. Then furthermore, we see his father, which is, of course, basically having the Matrix virtual reality, where they get emotions from being inside the machinery. Very, again, similar to how they plug in people in the Matrix. And we really see how Suroma's question is. He's like, why is this happy? Why is this actual emotions? Right? His mother thinks this is completely normal. His father lies down there and he looks very happy, but he thinks it's horrible. He just feels like this is not actual happiness. This is not actual emotions. And it's a lot of chasm here discussing, is this better or not to have this like pretended fantasy world of happiness? Again, the red or the blue pill, right? Very Matrix. The next scene shows us what the Papa is afraid of, right? Suroma starts crying, and his mother can't understand why he's crying. It's like, are you crying because you're physically injured? He's like, no, I'm crying because I recognize you as an important person to me. Who are you? And then they kind of triggers her emotion, her latent emotion up there, and she is sad, right? She's already feeling actual emotions. And this is clearly what the Papas are afraid of. They will trigger emotion. Okay, so the next example. So why don't the Papa want people to have children? The first reason is kind of obvious. Right now, people think that they need the Papa to be able to have new humans, right? There's a quite strong thing they have going there, so obviously that's good for the Papa. The people think that they need them to survive as a species. But the bigger thing, I guess, is that they hate emotions, right? They're machines. They can't understand the human emotion of caring for the children, wanting to have children, wanting to leave something after them and so on, right? So they want the humans to not be able to have the emotional attachment to each other. And as Alpha 9 says, it's kind of like, aren't you evolved, you know? You're some kind of disgusting ape. Haven't you evolved from this feelings, emotions? Later on, we see Nana getting a complete mental breakdown when Kokoro is like, what's wrong with you, Nana? Don't you want to be a mother? Don't you want to have children, right? What's wrong with you? She completely snaps from this. clearly to me, she has likely been emotionally and mentally mind-wiped by Dr. Franxx, or maybe someone else, but generally that's probably what they do with humans, right? They probably remove their emotions and their mentality. If they survive being pilots, they probably just wipe it away from them, right? So they can be like bio-machinery. And as Alpha 9 keeps saying here, because he's a crazy fanatic guy believing in the papacy, he's like, well, you are useless, you're weak now, you have the emotions. You're supposed to be logical. You're not logical anymore, you are pathetic. Like, get out of here, right? And in the next scene, Dr. Franxx confirming that Nana is now useless having. Okay, let's now talk about the absolutely most important episode so far, almost. Basically, yeah, seriously, the beach episode, the freaking like fan service, mandatory fan service episode. We go and have huge revealing plot lines and also huge revealing plots with great characterization of all the girls, right? No, but seriously, this episode had that 30 minutes ago. It has finding the book, talk about later. It's basically showing dystopian future, right? Like it's our planet. We see kind of like, oh, this is basically our current time and so on. So yes, it's all out with this fan service, but then it goes into these moments where the children finds a secret passage. Clearly, was the Papa Nana expecting to do, right? They find this ancient destroyed city, and the city has so many important plot points that I really want to have a full video, but this episode could be done. But anyway, let's talk about the most important stuff then, and a couple of them, right? So first and foremost, the actual house they find is clearly their house. It is their house they live in. It's a replica of what they live in. It's the exact same chairs, it's the same ladders, the staircases, whatever, windows, whatever you want to mention, right? And that's very important here because, again, the Papas don't understand humans. The Papas, they are machines, they don't understand how, bio-humans live. So they have to use copy what they find from how humans used to live. You can see in every damn scene, it's basically like a replica, piece by piece in how their house is living with. This episode is freaking airy, man. I wish they went back here in eventual episodes, but yeah, very importantly, it is their house, right? So if we all can agree on it's the same house, right? It's a replica set of the house, and I would even go so far to say that the forest outside where they live is kind of similar to kind of the abandoned, overgrown city, right? So they go there, probably the robots, they're like, oh, this is how you used to live, and they had like forests and plants, and there's a beach down here. Okay, let's copy that, and let's let them live in that place. That's basically how it is, probably. And of course, Kokoro finds the book, right? The book that inspires her to have sex, to figure out how to make babies, how to create life by your own, right? And yeah, not important for the Papa thing by itself, but of course, it's also where Mitsuru saves her. It's sort of interesting in Mitsuru with Futoshi. So again, this episode is super, super important. In the end, we're also finding Sorome, when he's like telling us all great about Papa. Basically, everything he says is the reverse of the truth of Papa, right? 2 episodes later, we see the present episode, also very important because the Papas are like, how do we get loyalty? Well, according to this data file, give children this thing, right? And it's very, very machinery. It's basically like, well, young boys, they like soccer, give him soccer, right? Girls like plushies, give them this thing, right? That's why this part is so important with Gobro, when he's like, to give someone a present is so unheard of. Because the present is so unheard of in this world, right? Because Papas are the one that gives presents. It's a big thing, give someone a present. So the last points then. So the Classroos clearly have humans inside of them who are driving them, right? So to speak, but it's more like the bioenergy is driving them. And that, again, of course, reminds me a lot of how the battery humans are in the Matrix. And the Papa clearly said to the princess in this episode, oh, you are, we're gonna kill you with what you created, right? So they are clearly developed the France based on the humans. So now let's come to the actual biggest point, of course, is when the Papa, 2 Papa guys, go down and talk to the princess. She screams at them, and then she defeats them, right? And when we see when they fight, remember first point here, these guys aren't just some random guys, they are actually in the council. Like this guy particularly, the first fight, he's clearly been shown several times in the episode. He is a member of the elite Papa Council, right? Not just some random guy going down there. He's the actual one of the leaders, right? And he goes down here, has the magnum weapons, he fights the princess, he gets defeated easily, and there's no blood. There is no blood, he just dies. And even more importantly, there is no head, right? He actually has no head under it. When she removes his mask, or whatever you call it, the helmet, there is nothing there. The princess puts it away, and we can see there is no one inside the actual Papa, evidently proving that they are nothing but machinery. When the second Papa guy dies, he also has no blood, and I guess they're kinda, it's more like she is similar, I suppose, but she is similar to the machinery, the tentacle spider machinery, right, in the Matrix. I'm just saying, but it's very, very Matrix. Anyway, now to my last point I want to make though, before I end it. Now, there is one last thing I do want to mention when it comes to the Papa and so on before I end this video, because I think it's one possibility that might be true. That is who created the papacy, who created all machines, right, and so on, who kind of sorted out everything, and it could be none other than Dr. Franxx himself. Like, why is that? That's not really matter, I suppose, but I think definitely is a possibility that he is actually the true mastermind that built the Papa, right? And while they hate the emotion of that, he's what actually being in control. Like, he's a puppet master that created the whole society, right? And he's the true leader of the world. And they used to they do kind of automatically operate, but he can be kind of still being there, like doing experiments, right? So on. I think there's a huge possibility. Anyway, hope you liked this video. Please press the like button and subscribe. Leave a comment below thinking about theory and so on. I think I'm pretty sure there will be machines, right? Is Dr. Franxx behind everything? Or aliens? Did the class create them and so on? Anyway, I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you guys next time.